good morning. Hope everyone is having a good morning so far. I am one of those East Coast people, so I've been up since at least 3:30, and we'll get back on track, I hope, sometime today. So Andy and I are excited to be here this morning, and we're especially honored to be able to introduce you to the 2018 Induction Hall of Fame awardees. And we're looking forward to learning a little bit more about them this morning. And I think you'll, as you hear about their accomplishments, will understand why they were chosen to be part of this class. So just a little bit about the Healthcare Internet Hall of Fame. The program was started in 2011. And at that time, we were having a lot of conversation about pioneers in our industry that had looked at how and had really understood how the internet was profoundly changing the way that providers and consumers were interacting with each other. And when we talked about that, we thought, how do we preserve that history? How do we preserve those contributions? Because in many ways, as you look at past inductees and you look at those who will join that Wall of Honor this year, you'll understand their contributions have been significant in that they really have become, they were catalysts for change in our industry, for how we do things, how we think about things, about what's possible going forward. And so that's what the Internet Hall of Fame is all about. It's ensuring that that history is preserved for future generations. There are 3 categories for which people can be nominated and inducted. One is the category of innovative individuals. The second is for innovative provider organizations. And the third covers innovative products and services. So we have a panel of judges that works throughout the year, meets frequently by phone to talk about nominees, to talk about what's going on in the industry and what kind of new advances and innovations we're seeing, and more importantly, who's behind that, who's really driving that change in our industry going forward. So we're looking for candidates that have made not only numerous changes, but lasting changes, as I said before, that serve almost as a catalyst for change and for innovation in the industry. So that could be at a local level, state level, or national level. We're also looking for individuals and organizations that have assumed a leadership position in the healthcare industry, beyond just where they work for today, but again, having influence over the entirety of the industry and of our profession as we think about it going forward. These are people and organizations that have been willing to share, that have willingly helped to educate and to coach and mentor others into adopting new ways of doing things. So they've served that well. They've shown an ability to influence or impact change, and they've been in the industry for a while, at least 5 years in terms of contributions. So I think as you learn more about the candidates and the past inductees, I would encourage you to go to the HIHOF website and take a look at organizations and individuals that have been recognized in the past and certainly currently, as you'll learn about today. And you can see as you read about their accomplishments where those inflection points were in our industry in terms of how they contributed. So very excited about all of that. I just want to take a minute to recognize the Board of Judges that are here. You can see their names, but I would like to ask if for any of the judges who are in the room, would you mind standing for a minute? And so we want to thank them for their contributions. They work hard to make that happen throughout the year. So thank you very much. And now I'm going to turn the podium over to Andy, and Andy is going to talk a little bit more about the program, and also will introduce you to the 2018 class. So Andy, it's up to you.
Well, thank you very much. And
just
this
the green
one,
button.
the big green button. Don't miss the big green button. There we go. Before we get to this year's inductees, we just want to take a quick moment to honor Jim Edwards, who is on our Board of Judges, and he passed away in October at the age of 74. So he, if you're not familiar with Jim, he founded Photo Books in 1991 and actually led the company for 25 years before retiring in 2017. And when you look at Jim's time at PhotoBooks, it would have been really easy to say, this is a company that's doing printed physician directories in the late 90s and early 2000s. The internet's coming. No, this is a guy who quietly pivoted. He knew when to move his company forward and what to pivot to. And if you look at the history of PhotoBooks as they went into Connect Healthcare, I mean, they pivoted into web content management, reputation management, online scheduling, all kinds of stuff. And Jim made that happen. So we want to take a quick moment to say thanks to Jim for all of his contributions to the Healthcare Internet Hall of Fame in the industry, and really just being a pioneer, very, very quiet pioneer in our industry. Now, we spoke about the judges. Being a judge is actually very cool. I mean, we all come to this conference once a year. We see each other, and then what happens for the other 11 months, some odd weeks? So being a judge is a great experience because we get to connect multiple times throughout the year, and it's also a chance to really share your opinions and nominate those innovative businesses and people and products that have really influenced you and influenced the industry and really help to preserve this stuff. Because before you know it, time passes like that. Some of these products, 10 years ago, they hit the market, and then all of a sudden you're like, wow, a decade has passed, and you kind of forget about what happened in between. So this is a really good chance for anyone who's in the industry to really contribute back and leave your mark, and just go to HIHOF.com. You complete a short form, and then we basically take care of the rest. We'd love to have you guys. Now, as far as the 2018 inductees, let's begin with our 2018 Innovative Individual. So when we look at the innovative individuals who have been inducted over the years, I mean, the list is long. We have many that are here with us today, others who predate even the conference. Of course, at the top of the list, we have John Udes, who we owe this conference to, and you heard a lot about yesterday. We have Ed Bennett, who was an early adopter of social media. We have C. Everett Koop, the former Surgeon General, who actually launched one of the first consumer health libraries in the 1990s. We also have Suzanne Sawyer, who was here keynoting yesterday. She was a leader and real champion of CRM early on, early adopter. These are the kinds of people that are leading and pushing our industry forward. And that's why I'm really happy to say that this year's inductee as Innovative Individual is Chris Boyer. Now, Chris, over the past decade, he's held numerous positions at both provider and vendor sides of the industry. He's been at Healthgrades, Innova, Northwell Health, Fairview Health in Minneapolis is where you can currently find him. He's led some of the larger teams in our industry, and the thing is, if you look back at what he's done, it seems commonplace, but he really was an early adopter of CRM, mobile strategies. Yes, there was actually a time when mobile was not part of your strategy. Usability studies, and more. He's also a regular presenter at HCIC. Almost annually you can find him here, as well as other conferences. And you can take Chris with you anywhere, because in 2017 he co-founded the Touchpoint podcast, which is actually closing in on its 100th episode. Yep. It's not quite Simpsons level, but you're on your way. You're going to be at that 600 episode mark before you know it. And the great thing is he spawned the Health Podcast Network, which now features 9 different shows. So, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Boyer.
Thank you so much. Thanks, everyone. I was talking to my wife, who's here today. I'm very blessed that she's here today, about what this award, and it's really kind of, I'm very humbled and honored to be inducted into this, the Hall of Fame. And I was thinking about my career, and I thought, there are really 2 things that kind of drove me to be where I'm at today. And the first is I think I've always had this innate curiosity about digital and healthcare and how it applies together. And it's really been something that's kind of my lifeblood. It's why I do a podcast. It's why I kind of research new technologies and trends in different industries. I think it's to me, that curiosity really kind of drives a lot of the work that I do, and to be honored today is great. The other is, I think, it's related more to a bigger vision of, or maybe even, my own views of being in healthcare. And I wrote something that was published a number of years ago in the Mayo Clinic book about the reason why I got into healthcare. And that's because I myself am a patient. I'm a type 1 diabetic, and I've been interacting with healthcare systems well before the internet was a thing. And I like to think, I speak a lot about maybe ROI. I even play my ukulele about ROI sometimes. But to me, I really think that the work that I do is all about ROH, which is return on health. If I can help at least one person, one patient seeking out care, one physician looking to refer to the right industry, just anyone, that's why I do this. So anyway, thank you very much for this award, and I'm really honored and humbled. Thank you.
Love that. ROH. And don't forget, so you can spend your morning commute with Chris on Touchpoint, which is great. The innovative provider organizations. I mean, think about all the organizations that we've seen present at this conference over the years. I mean, I've been coming to this conference now for about 15 years, and there's not a year that goes by that I don't leave here going, wow, they're doing something amazing again and again and again. And you look at the organizations that we've inducted into the Healthcare Internet Hall of Fame here. We have University of Utah. I mean, now, ratings on your websites for providers, commonplace. In 2012, groundbreaking. I still remember that presentation. It was a packed room. They were the first organization to do it. We also have Community Health in Indianapolis. I mean, they really had one of those first homegrown portals as part of their website. Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, amazing work with Flash to create, it was Kids Health Galaxy, to really make the hospital experience a little less scary for kids. And these are all things that these organizations consistently do, and they're the organizations that we all strive to be. This year, our innovative provider organization is Providence Health and Services. And Providence, I have an East Coast bias. I live in Philly, and I see everything going on the East Coast. And it was only a couple years ago that I ran across an app called The Circle. It's for OB maternity patients, and it's something that keeps the patients connected to their providers during the course of their treatment. And, well, I shouldn't say treatment, during their delivery. So you can tell it's a man delivering that. But the thing is, though, Providence, that was the tip of the iceberg. Once I started diving in, I found that, first of all, if you're not familiar with Providence, we're talking 50 hospitals, 829 clinics, 111,000 employees across 7 states. Big organization. And they were one of the first organizations, if not the first organization in the country, to found a digital innovation group. And their goal is to code what matters and deliver personalized, convenient, connected care. And they work with their providers to build custom virtual visit platforms and chatbots and apps and all kinds of stuff. It's an amazing portfolio. But then on top of that, in 2014, they founded Providence Ventures. And that arm manages the organization's $150 million capital fund. I mean, that is a serious investment in innovation in the space. And their portfolio includes a number of companies that we all partner with, including Kairos, Wildflower Health, Press Ganey, Binary Fountain. I mean, they're incubating a lot of these companies, and that is why they're this year's Innovative Provider Organization. And is Kevin here from Providence, by any chance? Kevin, please come up.
Hi, good morning, thank you. Just a quick moment to say on behalf of Providence, the Sisters of Providence, we're really grateful to see our mission really extend itself into innovation in healthcare, and we're really honored to receive this award, so thank you.
And finally, we have our innovative product and service. And just think about all the products, services, vendors, everyone that we work with on a daily basis in order to get our jobs done. And over the years, we've recognized a number of those services. We have Epic, we have the Mayo Clinic's Health Library team, University of Iowa, by the way, their virtual hospital, which launched in 1992. I mean, who was thinking about putting health content online in 1992? Apparently University of Iowa. And these are the types of innovative services and products that we really try to recognize and memorialize in the Healthcare Internet Hall of Fame. And this year's nominee, I'm happy to say, or inductee, is SiteImprove. Now, SiteImprove, by the way, real quick question. How many people use SiteImprove in this room? A lot of hands. So you all know how it goes. I've been at 3 different organizations now. I walk in the door, I say, we really need SiteImprove. And people are like, why? No, we're fine. We need, our website's fine. Then all of a sudden you find out that you're promoting breath health and heartburn and all of these things that just make your website look bad. And then that is the gateway drug to everything else that SiteImprove offers. All of a sudden, you're working down the path of SEO and WCAG and everything else, and you realize that this is one of those invaluable tools that really makes it possible for us to do our jobs. And SiteImprove, basically, they were founded in 2003. They're used by organizations throughout the world. And they're really a leader in the web accessibility space. I mean, as much as I enjoy heartburn like anyone else, it's really web accessibility is where they're making a difference in the world. And if you are not a client, they actually released a free Chrome plugin in February 2017, so anyone can now check their site for WCAG 2.0 compliance, which is great. And their vision is really to make the web better for individuals of all abilities and disabilities. And since 2010, and this is something that's pretty humbling here, they've been members of the United Nations Global Compact Initiative, which sets standards related to human rights, labor rights, and the environment. I mean, not too ambitious, right? Not too ambitious. I mean, SiteImprove. You thought it was heartburn. It's so much more. And, and Matt, congratulations.
Can't say it much better than that. Thank you. Just wanted to say on behalf of our founder and president, Morten Ebsen, and our CEO, Torben Wright, and the hundreds of others who have been doing incredible work at SiteImprove over the last 15 years, I want to thank Greystone.Net for hosting this great event each year, and the judges for this award. It is humbling to be recognized alongside these men and women, and an honor to be inducted into the Healthcare Internet Hall of Fame. We don't only work in the healthcare industry, but in helping craft a better and more inclusive web experience for each visitor, SiteImprove aligns with the goals of everyone in healthcare. In our work with all of our customers, as we just saw, many of you right here, we want to make the web a better place for all. So my colleagues and I look forward to seeing everyone again or meeting you for the first time. So stop by our booth and say hello. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy, for recognizing and talking about these organizations. As you can see, the work they've done is impressive, has influenced the industry, has influenced many, if not most of us as individuals in our profession in the industry, and we certainly appreciate all of their contributions. So a little bit about the nomination process. Even though we have awarded these the folks and organizations today, we are actively looking for the 2019 class. And the nomination process is open currently. You can submit a nomination at the HIHOF.com website or complete a nomination form at the HIHOF table. And that table is located directly outside the main entrance to the exhibit hall here. So stop by there and learn a little bit more about that. And again, as we talked about earlier, you can submit choices in the 3 categories that we recognize today. So I want to also let you know that there is a HIHOF Walk of Fame, Healthcare Internet Walk of Fame, located up in the registration area. You'll see the stars as you pass through, and it'll give you an idea. I encourage you to go up and take a look at the past inductees and get a feel for who all belongs to this great class of people and organizations. So again, I want to one more round of applause for those who have entered the Hall of Fame in 2018. Thank you very much for your contributions to the industry. And I wish you all a wonderful rest of the Healthcare Internet Conference. There are just some fabulous sessions out there to see today. So thank you very much.